Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beats, Beards, and Beers. On this episode, we're going to find the best beers and breweries in the USA. So please join me on this adventure. So, welcome to a special episode of Beats, Beards, and Beers. Or should I say, Beards and Beers, because we're going to do something a little bit different this episode. What we're actually going to do is have a tasting paddle of breweries in a US city. So what do I mean by that? Well, there's far too many great breweries in the US to taste beers at every single one of them. So what we're going to do is just sample a few different breweries in a particular city from the perspective of visiting Aussie. What I thought this might be handy for some other people that are out visiting these cities who might want to check out some breweries and maybe get a bit of a feel for what they're like. But before we get too far into it, I just must apologize for the sound quality in this episode. I was visiting bars at all different times of the day. Some were noisy, some were a bit quiet. I've tried to do what I can with the sound, but it's far from perfect. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the episode. So today we're off to Honolulu to explore island life, and where the beers are inspired by surf, sand, and tropical flavors. So as part of this tasting paddle, we'll be visiting the Waikiki Brew Co., the Maui Brewing Company, Beer Lab, and the Hana Brewing Company. So I'll taste a few beers, then I'll rate the brewery on its atmosphere or the vibe, and I'll also rate the service to give an overall score. So first up, we're off to the Waikiki Brewing Company. They've got 3 locations, 2 on Honolulu and 1 in Maui. And I visited the Waikiki Brew Co., which is an outdoor venue pretty close to Waikiki Beach. So in terms of their range of beers, they had a limited range. Perhaps it may have been because of the venue I was at, which was a bit more of an informal one. But it covered all the bases, ranging from some lighter stuff to a porter to a bit of a funky one thrown into the mix, the jalapeno mouth. So let's have a taste of some. G'day, it's Harry Head here, having my very first beer in America, which is pretty crazy. And I don't have my usual partner in crime with me, so you'll have to deal with the poor footage. So the first beer I'm having is from the Waikiki Brew Co., and it's the EEE IPA. Let's give it a taste, It's a nice beer. It's very hoppy. It's got a lot of nice malt in there. Pretty bitter, but not over the top. You know, I'm not normally someone that loves a bitter beer, but this one's pretty good. So I'll give the Triple E IPA a 3.75 hairy heads. Right, let's see what's up next. Hey everyone, I forgot to say that the Triple E IPA is 7.2 ABV and 75 IBUs. Gotta get the stats in there. So next up from Waikiki Brew Co. is the jalapeno mouth, 5.5 ABV, 30 IBUs. Let's have a taste. In a tiny little weeny little glass. I thought, I'm not going to get a whole pint of jalapeno beer, and I'm glad I did. It's really nice. It's exactly what it says on the packet. They actually add jalapenos to their ale. Yeah, nice beer. Definitely got that spiciness. You wouldn't want to have too much of it. You got that burn in the back of your throat, but a really nice beer. Give it 3.75 hairy heads. Good stuff. I'll finish my little tiny beer now. Hey everyone. So the last beer I'm going to have here at the Waikiki Brew Co. is the Blackstrap Molasses Porter, which is and I've covered up how much percentage it is. It's 6.1 ABV and 37 IBUs. Let's give it a taste, eh? And I didn't get the mini one on this one. Yeah, tasty. So, just what you'd expect from, I guess, a porter and molasses. So it's very rich. They've got that real thick, kind of sweet, kind of malty taste. It's actually quite nice. A bit bitter. But I've noticed I've run into a bit of a snag. If you haven't noticed, I have a bit of a cold, and so I'm starting to not taste the beers so well. But I think I can taste enough of it. I'll give it a 3.5 hairy heads. Cheers. So with the beers, they got an average score of 3.7. In terms of the vibe, I'll give it 3.75. Look, it was a street side, informal place, but really great for just chilling out and watching the people walk down the street, especially out on a nice sunny day. In terms of the service, I'll give that a 4. Great, friendly staff, just the right amount of checking in, making sure I was doing okay and all good for my next beer. So that gives a combined rating of 11.45. So where are we off to next? And next we're off to Maui Brewing Company, which is one of the largest craft breweries in Hawaii and the US. Anyway, in terms of the venue, we went to the Waikiki one. They actually have a number of venues across Hawaii. And after walking up a few flights of stairs, you enter into this massive venue, which just seems to keep going. It's very lively. Again, very loud. Apologies for the sound. Lots of people and entertainment, I think most nights of the week. They had a huge range of beers, including their core range, plus some seasonal offerings and some guest taps. So let's have a taste, eh? Hi, and here we are at the Maui Brewing Company, and already seems like a pretty happening place. Walking up a few stairs, it's a very lively venue. This is my first beer. It's not my first beer. This is not my first beer either. This is my first beer here. It's the OMFG Hazy Double IPA. Just if you look at some stats here. Alcohol content 9%, a bit of a heavy hitter, and IBU of 30. Let's have a taste, eh? Tasty one. It's like got sort of mango, orange, guava, very fruity. Really nice, really down my alley. Slight bit of business, pretty boozy, which you'd expect from 9%, but yeah, really tasty beer that one. I'll give that one 4.25 hairy-heads. Right, the next beer up on the list at the Maui Brewing Company is the Mango Sticky Rice. Now this one is 6.2 ABV and 15 IBUs, and it's brewed with lactose, mango, jasmine rice and toasted coconut. Sounds interesting, let's give it a taste. Wow, it's, to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I was expecting big mango hits, big creaminess. It's actually really subtle, which is probably more like, I guess, if you're having mango sticky rice. But I probably was looking for more. I was probably kidding myself, looking for more like a mango thick shake type thing. Yeah, it's a nice beer, easy drinking, go down really well. But I'd probably give that probably 3.5 hairy heads. It's good, easy drinking, but it doesn't blow my socks away. Just a good nice beer. So cheers. The next beer up is the Imperial Coconut Porter. And that is 9% and 37 IBUs. Yeah, it's meant to be coffee, chocolate, and coconut, so let's give it a taste. Oh, it tastes pretty good. And you got to remember, I've still got a cold, as you can probably hear from me. But taste the booze 100%, which is that's what you expect in an imperial. But I would say, yeah, it's got all those elements: coconuts there, touch of coconut, the chocolate, the coffee. It's a nice beer. It's a nice beer. And it's going down really well. So yeah, Maui Brewing Co. I've been very impressed with the beers. There's a massively long list, and I actually wish I could go through them all, but unfortunately, if I did that, I probably wouldn't make it home tonight. So, thanks for your beers, and cheers everyone.
Did you rate it?
Just remember that I didn't rate the beer, so I'll give this a 4.25 heritage. Alright, cheers everyone. So wrapping that all up, that gives an average score for the beers of 4. In terms of the vibe, I'll give that 3.5. It's a very big venue. It felt a little bit corporate, and I guess that's what you get when you're going to one of the biggest breweries. And that's something that I particularly don't look for in a craft brewery. I'd rather something a bit more cozy. Nothing's wrong with it, but just like the mango sticky rice beer, it didn't really blow my socks off. In terms of service, 3.5. Again, staff were really friendly, giving good service, and despite the number of people, they still got the attention that you'd want, but it just really wasn't anything over the top. So that gives a total score of 11. Next, we're off to Beer Lab, and we actually went to one of their 3 venues, which was the Bamboo Tiger Shop, also known as Puck's Alley, which is promoted as being not too serious and a great place to have fun, a beer and a bite. So they had 8 beers on tap and a good range, some interesting stuff on there, and obviously some tailored to the Christmas season, which is when we were in town. They also have a stack of posters in the toilets, showing that they do a lot of creative and interesting and fun beers. So let's give some a taste, hey? Hello, and here I am at the Beer Lab at the Pucks Lane venue, and I've just grabbed a omakase, which is how I think you say it. It's their signature hazy IPA, 6%, and IBUs of 37. So let's give it a taste. There's a look at it. Nice and hazy. Let's give it a taste. Ooh, man. That is really good. That is really good. Tropical fruits, big tropical fruit hit. Maybe a bit of citrus. A little tiny bit of bitterness, but not much. Really delicious. I'm going to give that 4.25 heritage. Delicious. Cheers. Alright, now I'm going to try the Beer Lab Holly juice. And can you see the colour? It's probably a bit hard to see in this light, but it's green. Pretty crazy. Give it a taste. Whoa, that is such a unique flavour. I really like it. It's like mango-y, but it's got something else in it. So this is a mango pandan ale, 6%. Wow, it's like, I don't know what, I think pandan's a leaf. I don't know, I'll fix that up in the edit, because I'm not exactly sure. They taste like lollies. Bloody delicious. I'm gonna give that. It's really just odd. It's not grassy. It's sweet and it's like bubblegum in a way. It's real. I really like it. It probably wouldn't be for everyone. I'm gonna give that 4.5 hairy heads. So cheers on that one. Holly juice. Holly jolly juice. Correction. Cheers. So along with those beers you've just seen, I also had the Nimbus IPA, which is a hazy IPA coming in at 7.2%. Citrusy, juicy and sweet, coming in at 3.75 hairy heads. Also had the Kololo, which is a golden ale with taro, brown sugar and toasted coconut, with an alcohol content of 5.5%. Light, coconut flavors, tasty. I gave it a 3.5 hairy heads. Next up was the Baby It's Gold Outside at 5%, which is a nitro golden stout hazelnut coffee. I had really big expectations on this, but it ended up being pretty average actually at 3.5 hairy heads. And lastly, I had the Nicely Naughty, which was an imperial stout with gingerbread spices, which came in at 10% ABV. And this was absolutely awesome. It was a really fantastic combo of flavors, which really hid the booze. So big Merry Christmas on that one with big 5 hairy heads. So all up, the beers came in at 4.1. The vibe of the place, I'll give a 4. It's a pretty funky little spot. Pretty much hits what they try and promote on the website, a casual, fun place for a beer and a bite. And in terms of service, not as high a score, coming in at a 3. Staff were nice and friendly, but even though there weren't a stack of people in there, they pretty much stayed behind the bar. And then even with 2 staff on, they didn't really give the kind of, hey, let's have a chat and tell you about stuff and the beer and that kind of vibe like we've had at some of the other places. So total score is 11.1. And lastly, we're off to Hana Brewing Company. In terms of the location, it's in a bit of an industrial area, as lots of good craft breweries are, so you don't judge a book by cover. Inside, a really welcoming, bright place. That was that nice crossover between industrial and a cozy brewery feel that I really like. They had a really extensive range of beers, from your standards to your funkies, and I would love to have stayed to taste a lot of them. So let's see how we went. G'day everyone, we're here at Hana Brewing Co. Nice little venue, and off to my first beer, which is the Guava Drip. Look at that haze in there. So this is what percentage? The percentage isn't on the board, but anyway, it's a pastry style sour ale with guava, lemon, coconut and donut. It's a collab with Hervé Donuts, so this could be interesting. Cheers. We've definitely got the fruit juice, the guava, definitely lemon, coconut, subtle. Don't know if I'm getting, it's definitely got that lemony, citrusy type flavour in there, and the guavas. Donut, I don't know. Maybe there's a touch of vanilla in there. But yeah, delicious beer, easy to drink. I'm going to give that 4 hairy heads. So cheers. Right, next beer is the Surf Pup. And look at the colour on that. Talk about, well, it's tomato soup. Anyway, Surf Pup is 5%. It's a gose, grapefruit and sea salt. So let's have a taste. Tasty. Big fat juiciness. You've got the grapefruit, but the citrus isn't that overpowering. There's lots of kind of tropical fruits, pineapple, and a bit salty. I wouldn't say it hasn't got that hardcore funk that you normally get with a gose. Obviously, really, I like a gose, but that is delicious, very easy drinking. I'm going to give that 4 hairy heads. for hairy heads. So cheers, big ears. G'day. I've also got to say on that last one that surf pup says on the board that supports local animal rescues, so that's pretty cool. And I also noticed that quite a few beers on their board are supporting charitable organisations, so that's pretty awesome all round. Hey, so I'm now having the Island Pine, which is it's a collab with Around the Horn Brewing, and it's a tropical rice IPA, 6.9%. Let's give it a taste. Oh, 100% piney. I expected pineapple rather than that kind of piney resinous flavour. Check out the colour, because I don't know if you saw that before. So you've got that grassy, resinous, slight bitterness, really refreshing. Like again, tasty beer, delicious on a hot day. Yeah, just that really resinous. So it probably depends on if you're a fruity or a resinous IPA drinker. I mean, I'm probably more on the fruit side, but this is actually really tasty. I'm not normally on the resinous, piney kind of side, but this is a tasty beer. And I think I've given every beer here a 4, and I think I might do it again. I reckon this is a 4 hairy heads. Easy drinking, delicious beer. So yeah, cheers to that. So that gives the beers an average score of 4. In terms of the vibe, a really nice place. Light, airy, clean and welcoming. Just the right mix for me of what a brewery should be. So 4.25 on that one. In terms of service, fantastic service, friendly staff, really accommodating. Particularly, we were on the way to the airport and turned up with a couple of massive suitcases, and they helped us out, get them out of the way. So I'm going to give them 4.5 for service. So that gives a total of 12.75. Well, reflecting on all the great places I visited, what was the highlight for me? Well, it definitely was the Hana Brewing Company, which came out in top in the rankings. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm really interested to hear your comments on whether you liked this new format, whether I should do more stuff like this. Did I miss any breweries that you think really I should have covered? Anyway, as always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Love you all. Cheers.